All right. Welcome back to Gilded Gaming and Final Fantasy XIV. How's it going tonight, guys? Everybody having a good time? Let's get back to it, huh? Let me try my audio. I don't have my normal earphones today. Let's see. Okay. Ere I forget, I believe Moonbrita has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. I inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Over here, really. Okay. Oh, good old hoary boulder. All done with your talk of dragons. Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head to the Solar, shall we? We've got a trial in our near future here. To fight an Ascian. I think my favorite boss battle so far is still the one versus Midgar Swarmer. Or at the end of Keeper of the Lake. That was a fun fight.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Like darker.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
Right.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
Hey, how you playing?
Do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve, and I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
Okay.
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether.
Smells of a bad idea? Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea with possibly some bad consequences, you know.
Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go.
I'm inveigled.
Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arcians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Inveigle. It's a new word for me. Persuade someone to do something by means of deception or flattery. Yeah, fits. I didn't know that one.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you.
Some big stuff's gonna happen in the story tonight. How you plan?
In the meantime, I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Gallian threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Be a lot of cutscenes tonight, and a lot of, like, story moments. As we go through the final patch before Heavensward. All the rest of the, you know, preparations for the Heavensward story have to fall into place. How you doing tonight? How you plying? Have a good night? Have a good day? MMO, DPS, TMNT. I mean, MMO, yes. DPS, I mean, I'm a tank. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm not sure how that fits, but yay acronyms. It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of the rest of our recuperation. Of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The 4th have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilfred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilberd at our headquarters at Ul'dah. I shall take command of our forces with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. We've only got like 3.5 more quests left in 2.5, and then we're gonna have 16 quests to do in 2.55. Including 1 trial in 2.5 and 1 trial in 2.55. That's what we got tonight. That we got to get done, so we'll be ready for Heavensward next week. Your duties take you to Northern Thenland, do they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Lahaman travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it's my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, it's that we know that Eorzea must present a united front or we shall all fall. How extraordinary that my little Auxilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections. But I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, my lady. Yeah. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way, then? With his big, meaty arms, that's right. That's Hoary Boulder you speak about there, Claire. Don't mess with Hoary Boulder. Okay. Skipped leg day. A 100 parties are pretty low. Commander Levier sent word that you be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could be marching out on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein that we may coordinate our counter strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Private Gilded, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce in our old times, but I fear a more pressing matter, sir. Matters require our attention. The civilian Jottsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears are confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices. Oh, I keep yawning. Devices of Imperial design, no less. By my order, the Flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news that the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and 'twould seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. Keep yawning, man. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have apprised your fellow Scions of the situation, and I am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Alian and lend your much welcome strength to our counteroffensive. All right. Glad to have you with us, Elheim. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Murderianum. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalman's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilberd. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to help the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Old Daw, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the planet's defenses and to add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, it would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the Fourth and give battle to the main column. Where would the Third then, Warrior of Light? Your job is to be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yehase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate is split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts. I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and to make sure we root out these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas and to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Alright. Go kill Imperials. Got it. Okay. Hello. What else we got? Oh, is that it? You seem grim, Scion. I'll take to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. Those Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I'd be a happy man if I never had to tussle with any of those another of those Magitek horrors. It's time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I'll contact the 4th and let the Lieutenant Alian know that the west is now clear. I'd appreciate it if you do the same to report to Lieutenant Edelstein. That was easy. Private Gilded, what news of the Garleans? Their raiding parties are no more than excellent. The Amalshot engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Okay. Uninvited Ascian. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Alian has reported a sound victory for the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to their other duties. All but one, that is. The Rogadin lady with the large axe, but it appears she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thanland is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. It would certainly feel better about things if you could check on her before you continue on your way. Gonna test her Aether Siphon.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it.
Oh, think it works.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
Uh-oh.
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overwhelming presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydelin has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiark's right hand.
I don't know much about Zodiark. He's only been in a couple Final Fantasies. He's usually one of the strongest summons.
With us. Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Yeah, she keeps that staff on the wall behind her desk. What do you want with that stuff? I mean, I know it was Louis Soir's. I don't know. You're here. Master Louis Soir's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now. anymore.
You too.
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Again. Shit.
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow the staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
It's interesting, he said that La Habrea and Elidibus were of this world, so I wonder who Elidibus is possessing. La Habrea was in Thancred. Oh, he's taking Menphilia. And we just watched that whole thing happen. And Moonbreeder's dying. Possibly.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Right. The Chrysalis. This is our trial. To fight an Ascian, yeah? Gotta save Menphilia. But first we have to wait for a group, so. I know you're dying, Membrita, but hold on. I've got to wait for a party. We're in the queue. The average wait time's 7 minutes. Can you hold your stomach in for that long? Yeah, you'll be okay. She's alright, guys. She's just taking a nap. She's still breathing. We're alright. Alright, well, we just gotta wait for this. Oh, while we're waiting, shit. Oh. Tonight is Final Fantasy XIV night. You know, we still have to finish Lunar. We're heading up on the final dungeon of Lunar. We're gonna be playing more of that on Friday. But after Lunar, we're gonna be doing Final Fantasy Tactics in here. And Final Fantasy Tactics, like, they actually have Final Fantasy Tactics tie-ins to this game. I don't know which expansion it's in, but when we get there, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that, because I know there are links to Tactics in 14. I got this book for Christmas. Still got that new book smell. Ooh, there's spoilers maybe. We're gonna inhale the book. I did inhale. I did it. Yeah, it happened. Pretty cool. Let's see if we got anything interesting in here. I'm looking at the different armor sets in Breath of the Wild. Right, so we got. Right. We've got the stealth set. We already have that one. The Flamebreaker set, which is the one that protects you from fire. We're gonna get that when we go to the Goron area up on Death Mountain. The Zora set helps you swim and go up waterfalls. Right. We're gonna get that one when we go to do the Zora area. The Snow Quill set we picked up yesterday. We bought that. That protects us from cold. Oh, there we go. Duty ready. Ugh. Didn't even figure out how to tank this one without any help from Minus tonight. Minus is busy. That's just us. Light party. Full party. Which is good. It means the other tank can do stuff. Got 2 trials we gotta do tonight. It's just the first one. Alright, he's got her strung up there, sure. She looks like she's not entirely happy about it, you know. Take 1 scale from each dragon. I've got 1 from one of them so far. He killed me a couple times, but I did get one of his scales last night while I was trying to get the Phantom Ganon armor. I did knock one of his scales off, so we got one. Alright. Oh, the other guy tanked this guy. Vincidai, nice. You got a Wheel of Time fan, probably. The other guy is nut on myself. That's lovely. Don't use another section. What am I doing here? We do some of these? Just stop them from getting there. Oh, do we need to alternate them? I forget how this works. I think you have to go like red, blue, red, blue. I vaguely remember this. I have done this fight once before. But it's been like a year. I only did it once. Did you use a limit break? Oh, apparently we wasted our limit break. That's fun. We're halfway down. How's your Breath of the Wild playthrough going? How you playing? Oh no, you got the entire map? Yeah, that was me last night, right? Okay, so let's try red. Didn't hurt. Blue. Didn't hurt. Yeah, I think it's red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Red. Blue. Yeah, I was gonna use that one. Red. And let's do these ones. Oh shit. Did I heal him? What's that do? Or maybe it ups his damage when he does that move. out of mana and can't res. Okay. Pulls us into it. How does this work? What are we doing here? Everybody's dead. I just need to get by the New Year's. Okay. That's new information, but good to know. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Keep Blake Tower because Wizard keep killing you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I just shot him with arrows pretty much. If I remember right. Alright, we're halfway. Red. Blue. That's where we get sucked in. Not quite. Where we go in? Alright. I have to get hit by the meteors. Okay. I think we're good. 8% to go. Let Ben take the last bit. Secret Asian man. Secret Asian man. Right. Secret Asian man. All right. Yeah, you got a chance to get pretty far ahead of me in Zelda, since I'm not going to be playing for 2 days. I mean, I got the New Year's Eve tomorrow, so we're gonna have a short stream tomorrow. It's not gonna start till 10. This is a Final Fantasy game, Claire. All right.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come?
Whose body was he in? No one's apparently.
Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
Quick, Egon the trap!
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No, no, you cannot. No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free. Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now. The choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You damned old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Does it count as the power of friendship, Claire, if your friend gives up their life for it?
She's gone.
We literally used our friend as a power source. If that's not the power of friendship, I don't know what is.
You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia,
all right.
I call dibs on the wand.
I am.
Oh,
We were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Charlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hitherto the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
All right. Well, you know, for a second I thought we were going to lose Minfilia. That would have been a big loss, right? But she's fine. We just lost Moonbreeder, who we just met, like, this patch. So. Tonight's going to be a lot of words, Claire. There's a lot of story going to happen tonight. There'll be some things done, too. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlian Manor to celebrate Moonbreeder's life and mourn her passing. Alright. Alright, so in Mimir Moonbreeder is the last quest of 2.5. Once we finish this one, we'll be moving on into 2.55, which is the final patch before Heavensward. Let's get this one out of the way. Also, the final quest of each patch tends to have like a big like cliffhanger cutscene at the end of it. So when we get done mourning Moonbreeder, something's probably gonna happen. As Moonbreeder was a native of Charlian, if it were only fitting that we gather before the mark of the scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Rathfrost and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the city of learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul, bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. Okay. Go mourn the loss of Moonbreeder. Let's walk outside. Alright. Okay. Good Neil. What's next? Ooh. Bahamut.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
Oh, you sure up to say that, man? Really? Life or death, I approve. Alright, peace out. Thanks, Midgar Stormer. Alright, respect has been shown. Alright. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but a little. Forgive me, as antecedent is my job to be a pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we now feel is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Elheim? Cutscene time! It is as if a dagger had been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louis Sois, Moonbrida, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need to remind you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine, of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am likely to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Elheim. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. Cutscene time. Oh, damn. Alright, well, with that, I believe we are officially in the final patch. The Mask of Grief is the first quest of 2.55. Here we go. Have you a moment, Elheim? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbreeda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Hey, it's Elheim! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago. It's ready to be picked up. Trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face her at the moment, so I was wondering do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Wraithfrost. I gotta go pick up a flower for her. Okay. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade? Eh? They've got you running errands now? Sim Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of yours to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it. And tell that Ida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to. Wonder if Ida's gonna change her mask in the expansion. Yeah, we gotta go out to the grave. Okay. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her that I like fine the way she is, she says that again, then again, and then again. It's driving me crazy. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyways, let's see it. Brita love these things, you know. I hope somewhere, somehow, she knows we're thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Because Homer's like, it's climax time. Peace out. The patch quests are finally coming to an end. But no, he's talking about the dragon song. Looks like the dragons are ready to attack Ishgard. That's the thing.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Gotta fight some dragons. That's the trial we have left today, is the Steps of Faith, which will be fighting off the dragons at the entrance to Ishgard, I believe. Which will be a big part of us getting permission to go into Ishgard at the beginning of Heavensward, probably. I don't remember exactly how it works. We are fast approaching the limit of my knowledge on Final Fantasy XIV, which I'm really excited to get to, because then I won't know what's going to happen in the story. I've done these patch quests before, and I've done the very beginning of Heavensward before, like the first couple hours, maybe. But, once we really get into Heavensward, I will be flying blind as to the story. I wish I didn't know what was about to happen now. Anyways. Go see Afnod. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbreeda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Kurthus will arrive soon, and we must hasten to hear her report. Alright, one quest down. 15 to go. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I will forego the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravanians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and the battle was joined soon thereafter. Because I am small compared to... These guys are really tall. And I'm comparatively short. Sir Amric himself sailed forth from the contingent of Temple Knights and several companies of noble houses' finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if it such may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then. We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Amric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Kurthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest of Old Daw must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to the leaders? I will gladly appeal to Grand Companies on your behalf. I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present at your request directly to the heads of the Grand Companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Amric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgar Stormer and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of a hero well. 'Twould seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Elheim. Yeah, when the Empire attacked, Ishgard's like, I ain't helping you. And then when they get attacked, they're like, okay, guys, come help us. I'm just happy that Alphinaud isn't sending us to each of the freaking grand companies to ask for their aid, because he tends to do that earlier. And like in a Realm Reborn, it's like, oh, we need to talk to all the leaders. I'm going to send you to each of the 3 capital cities and do the same quest over and over again. We skipped that part. That's good. Lady Iceheart.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
What's she doing? We gonna see Shiva again? What was this? Oh, she's taking down the defenses.
Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Okay. It seems I was the swifter, Elheim. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell us some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The Gates of Judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgar's magical wards, and the first in our line of defense. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Heretic scum, how dare they meddle in our divine protections? I shall rid the nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. We do not fret over much. There are several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. It would seem the heretics struck first, most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expect you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies, we chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates. We thought it prudent to investigate the cause. And you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. Let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Amric awaits you. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Hashafant will know where Sir Amric means to receive us. Okay, back down here. It is reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat you in the intercessory. Greetings, madam. Shall I show you inside? Okay. I thank you for coming with such haste and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say that the Ice Heart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstance, we quite understand if you prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphinaud, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment the business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estidian. Estidian? May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among their such masters of the lance, Estidian is without equal. He of all the warriors of Ishgard has chosen to wield the power of the dragon, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and thus may contend with any Javanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So, you are an adventurer with whom they spoke. I see now why my blood rang fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's designs, as confessed by heretics taken captive after the assault at the gates. It would seem that Lady Iceheart and the Javanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldrith, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's recent relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrith plucked from the beast's bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, one possessed of untold power. Should ever we return to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength. Then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to defy him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. They are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms, who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaigns as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe the Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole in the mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protection. This weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem, you have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such insensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our agreement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, once you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter, I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during the Operation Archon, you refused us. Does this not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives for your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Korthos will be buried in snow, and the land will become a sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Korthos. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordona, 7 hells. Very well, I will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar, allow me, Sir Amric. Though the power of the eye has become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength, his essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. The eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear with me wherever I go. His lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg, aye. He means to hurl his horde against Danafin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Sir Amric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gate to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Alright. Committed to the cause is already the 4th quest in this patch. And as much as I want to get them all done, I am like falling asleep over here, man. I didn't get enough sleep this week. So we're going to call it early tonight. So thanks for watching, guys. I had a lot of fun playing. I'm going to have a lot more fun playing more of this. I may sub this in on Friday to get this done and get into Heaven's Word. I haven't decided yet, though. We still got to do the end of Lunar and some more Breath of the Wild. So we'll figure it out. But I'm actually off work Friday, so maybe we'll get some extra time there. But thanks for watching, Claire. Thanks for watching Hell You Pline. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.